Hello, good evening. Yes, I think I'm now live. I hope. Yes, this is the URL I want to copy and paste at the Healthy Wealth page so that people who can join can take this. Yeah, I think we'll start now. Good evening, everybody. This is my fifth or sixth week of starting Facebook Live, in which I discussed the various activities that we have done on the past 1 week, starting from Monday to Sunday. So the week, as you know, starts on Sunday evening. So I have decided to speak to all the members on Facebook Live, and I hope I'm visible and audible to everybody. Okay, and I would like you to. Oh, thank you, Madhusudan Rao Garu. Welcome to this Facebook Live program, and I request others also to join in and give your suggestions, and please post your comments in the comment section. This week again we had a very good group of posts over the past 1 week, starting from Monday. And first I'd like to announce the results of the credits that everybody got, and who is the winner, and something about that. So this week there was a lot of participation. As many as 54 people got the credit. I mean, got the credit, some credits are other, minimum being 40. And the topper, of course, is Devaki Agalla Garu from Los Angeles, California. Her posts have been one of the best, some of the best posts, especially regarding the basic contests that we have every day, daily features. And she scored as many as 1060 credits because she was very good in answering many of the questions regarding basic, the back to basics contest, brain teaser contest, and biology buzz contest. She got scored also in contests of comment contests, and of course in giving diet tips. So on the whole, she had earned almost 1,000 points again, credits again, and she has got the prize of 1,000 rupees, which is not much for Nanarai, but it is only a figurative, a token amount, which Yagalaga has returned the money back to the group, and now the prize money for the next week is going to be 2,000 rupees. So who is going to be the topper of the credits? Next week we'll get 2,000 rupees as cash prize. Thanks, I again thank Devaki Garu for this gesture, and really we are very lucky to have her in our group. The next, number two, is Jalil Muhammad, who, as I told you, is a doctor in Nellore. He got as much as 865 credits, closely followed by Sheshagiri Rao Kakani, who, although is not a doctor, has got immense knowledge both about medicine, biology, basics, and also in general everything. He knows everything about everything. I mean, all in all. So he's right now in Hyderabad. I just talked to him a while ago, and right now I think he's with some party and he's not able to attend this live program. But he participated in so many contests. Here, the getting credits is Participation is the key. As many contests as you participate, then you'll get that many credits. Then you look at the fourth person, of course, is Madhusudan Rao garu, who got 725 credits. And later it is Girish Bhaskar, Shamla Nori, and Radha Chada. Radha Chada is another NRI who's come from Los Angeles and who is a very good contributor for daily quiz and health contests, health quiz. And Lakshmanji got 525 for his brilliant point, especially on money matters and also regarding humor, brain tweezers, etc. And Kasturi Mittapalli, who is a doctor, is an MD from Vizag, he is number 9. And Venkatesh Srinivasan, who has not participated that much because I think he was out somewhere, I think he was out of station, and he got the 10th position. Another person, a wild card, Mr. Subhendu Chaubi, he's got the 11th position in the credit totals. And I think I have to tell you something about Subhendu Chaubi. I mean, I'm very glad that people like Subhendu Chaubi are also in this group. Actually, I think he's from Kolkata. And this makes it a pan-Indian group. In fact, probably pan-international group because we have people from America, especially NRIs, and some people who have contributed from Philippines, Iceland, UK, etc. And of course, after that we have Rabindranath Kalyampudi, who was a retired principal of Medical College, Madras Medical College, and Madan Mohan Malviya. So I am reading out the ranks of the people who got the highest credits last week. So the ranks go on all up to 22, and there are 54 participants who got the ranks. So I'm very glad that the participation has gone up. In fact, for every contest, there are so many people who are giving their opinions. That means our popularity of. Welcome Girish Bhaskar Garu to this Facebook Live event, and he's one of our very great promoters right from the beginning. And I expect this group to grow much more. So now I'd like to discuss the various posts that we had over the past week. The idea behind discussing about the posts is not just recapitulation but also about the various aspects that you can, some tips how to answer some of them. I'm very glad Girish Bhaskar Garu has climbed onto the crossword wagon, as I say. So now he has sent a solution for this crossword, which is actually number 171. So every week I post one. I think I've been doing this for the past 3 years, and this time the topic is rickets and osteoporosis, osteomalacias. All these things they were answered rightly, and Girish Bhaskar has scored 200 points in this. So then we go to the next topic. The crossword puzzle, the solutions were also given by Lakshmanji, who got about 150 points, because there are so many credits in crossword puzzle. We have almost as many as 200 credits. So by participating, even for participation there are credits. 60 credits are there. And then you have Nagamani, as usual, giving out her best performance in such clarity. She has given these answers, and all answers are right. And I'm very glad Radha Chada, Sheshagiri Rao Garu, and Venkatesh Srinivasan, in spite of his busy schedule, managed to post the solutions for the crossword. And I also congratulate all the winners of the health quiz. The health quiz this time was regarding nuclear medicine. In this, Madhusudan Rao Garu has scored 62 credits, 62 points, and he is the top winner of health quiz this time, and followed by Sudhendu Chobe, Radha Chada, and Pediraju Garu. This health quiz mostly consisted of questions from the field of radionuclides, that is, which is something which is not known to many people because we don't have these gamma cameras, etc., in every hospital, and it's a very important topic. I am also grateful to Mahendra Raju, or earlier as Raj Mahen, who posts very brilliant posts regarding life and philosophy, and emotions, and behavioral therapy, etc. Here we see a person having a truck full of tires with a flat tire. So flat tires everywhere, but not a tire to replace. I mean, that is the philosophy of life. And then we see a post from Shamla Garu, Shamla Nuri, आपकी सेवा में नहीं भूलेंगे 11 but. Say, I am not aware of that. So, and another thing is, can you rearrange these words to make 24 country names? This is also very nice. Brain teaser, what is that? Some from puzzle or something. And then Vishnu Bhatla, Venkateshwar Ragaru has also posted about the difference between completed and finished. Anyway, these things are. Only when it is dark enough you can see the stars. That's true. That's a very great quotes. Some of the quotes by Mahendra Raju are really very educative. What's broken can be mended, what hurts can be healed, and no matter how dark it gets, the sun is going to rise again. And it's also said that it is darkest before the sun rises. Oh, they've got a restaurant called the Second Wife Restaurant. This is very funny. I have not seen this. But I think we should give a lot of appreciation to the person who invented this name, Second Wife Restaurant. And then some funny videos. And now we come to the medical riddle of the day yesterday. This carried a heavy price of 80 credits if you had only solved it. I'll just read the riddle and how you can solve it. A single chain of just 9 beads. To lower BP, my action leads. My mother's played whenever I made. Dilate blood pipes, choked the windpipes, smashed and shattered by slices that mattered. So here, it's all, you should think of the metaphors here, because they're all metaphors. You know, these beads are nothing but amino acids, and a single chain is a peptide, polypeptide. So only one person, Dr. Sridevi Chaganti, has given answer for this, and she got 100 credits for this. And I'd like all our members to concentrate on the type of riddles that I give. If you only can identify the metaphors, it's very easy to solve the riddle. Because here, and somehow it's always connected with the topic that I give first, that is the medical post, on which there is a daily quiz. So you should, that also helps you. So this answer for this riddle must be somehow related to blood pressure or blood pressure lowering agents. You know that the ACE inhibitors like ramipril and captopril, etc., they actually cause, they also have a side effect of cough, and this is due to bradykinin accumulation, and this is because of, so bradykinin is the answer. So that is how it is related to the puzzle. And if you can actually go through the riddle, there are many clues to you, because it lowers BP and it dilates blood vessels, but it constricts the brain pipes, that is the bronchials. This is bronchial smooth muscle, and it is immediately it is smashed and shattered, means it is actually destroyed by slicers, that is enzymes that mattered, because ACE enzyme is a very important enzyme which actually takes care of this, which also, apart from converting angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2, it also degrades bradykinin. So that's why the clue was given. And I'm glad at least one person could understand my riddle and answered it correctly. And then there was a post from Anjan Datta, and regarding the back to basics on that day, just as we have absolute zero, is there an absolute highest temperature that we can go to? That's a very big, tough question, of course, which was answered very readily by many of our members who are so great at physics and overall knowledge, and even our doctors also. Dr. Jalil has given the Planck temperature, which is the highest temperature which we can ever record. And then a biology buzz about whether the, in cats and dogs, do they have blood pressure? The main difference between, what is the difference between blood pressure that humans have and the blood pressure that pets have, dogs and cats, maybe other animals, we don't know. But the main difference is in dogs and cats, it's due to secondary causes like pheochromocytoma, or due to high cortisol, or due to some other cause. But in men, in humans, the most common cause is essential hypertension. That means we don't know the cause. It's primary hypertension. So that is that way the biology buzz that day. The brain teaser for that day, that is yesterday, was the more you take, the more you leave behind. What are they? And many people gave answers, was there as many as 40 people. And of course, all of them are maybe right, but I liked the answers of Dr. Lakshman. And some people have given the answers after the contest was over, and they were more interesting. Gaseous food and unwanted thoughts. Good, good. But I thought Anju Amla, Lakshmanji, and Shanti Dinakar were given awards for that. And congratulations to all of these people. Next, we have a painting where a man seems to come out of a door with his hands inside, and many people have interpreted it in different ways. And the funny way Murali Dikshit has interpreted has earned him 50 credits. He says it could be the husband trying to come out after being battered and bruised by his wife. That is a great thing. Next, we have a location. I've given it something which is very near our place, Rajamandri, the Papikondalu shot. I think many of you people might have visited Papikondalu, which is a beautiful destination. Yeah, yeah. Shamla Nori asks me to speak louder. Yeah, I think I should do that because I'm not a lecturer, unfortunately, so my voice is a little low. I'm trying to speak aloud. I think I'm audible, Shamla Nori Garu. Can you just leave the comment? I'm trying to speak at the top of my voice. And this is the top of my voice, unfortunately. So I hope I'm audible now. Yeah, I think I should talk louder and clearer because I upload it to Facebook. Facebook automatically, and also to YouTube, all these recordings, all this video recording, and they automatically, the artificial intelligence recognizes the voice and the words, and it automatically gives English subtitles. Unless I am very clear about what I say, sometimes it is misinterpreted and some wrong words are being introduced. So I want to be more clear than loud. Okay, if I'm probably a little more loud, it might pick up the wrong word and put a wrong word there in the subtitles. Anyway, thank you for suggestion. So I invite everybody to come to Rajamandri and take this trip, Papikondalu, because it's a beautiful trip. It's open just today, and it's open. It will be open for another 2 or 3 months. That's all, because this is a season when beauty is the natural beauty is very good, and also the river is also conducive to navigation, and we've got beautiful sceneries there, and people can enjoy. Then the medical daily spotter for that day is an ultrasound of dissection of aorta, and this was given. The answer was given by Dr. Madhusudan Mamilapalli, or star clinician. This is actually a transesophageal echo, and this shows an aorta which is split with a band across. This is a false lumen, and this is a true lumen, because when an aorta dissection happens, it happens in the wall of the aorta. The wall itself is torn, and blood enters inside the torn part of the vessel, and it creates an impression as though there are two aortas. And sometimes here you see the entry point, that is how the blood is going inside the false lumen. So aortic dissection is a medical emergency and has to be dealt with immediately because it can be fatal. And then we have another, what is the next? Yes. This is a very good post by Shamla Nuri Garu about how our universe looks like a Shiva Lingam. There is a Sanskrit meaning of lingam as symbol, pratik. I think it's a very deeply philosophical post. I think it's a great spiritual information. Thank you, madam, for the great thing. And then the mind, I've started a new topic called Mind Matters. Do you think that blood pressure has anything to do with anger, stress, or repression of anger? Is it better to be stoic during stress, or should we let out steam? Different opinions on this. I agree that people should not repress their anger, because people who have repressed anger can actually have blood pressure, and those who let out their steam once in a while, they tend to have lesser blood pressure. So if you are angry, then show it. There's no point in just having it and harboring it. The money matters. I was asking members how people who belong to the middle class or who cannot handle the money much, who do not have much money at their disposal or can't get reimbursed, can plan their life to save the money. And many suggestions have been given how to save money at the same time treating hypertension. And I also gave a topic for comment in the comment corner. Can you mention some of the hypertension myths? And there were many myths that were broken. I like the comment by Sheshagiri Rao Garu and Madan Mohan Malaviya, etc. And that's a lot of information for all those who are interested in, or those who are really having hypertension, how to get rid of it. So there's a joke about a person who says that he has been always a high achiever, always striving for bigger, faster, greater. Now suddenly I'm expected to settle for lower blood pressure and less cholesterol, he was asking. So we don't know. I mean, such people may be seen in America, but not in India. Because in India we try to downgrade everything. Yeah, welcome Shivasubbu Garu and Venkateshan Srinivasan sir from Pondicherry. Shivasubbu Garu is from Villupuram, right? Shamla Nuri is from Hyderabad, and others are from Hyderabad. Ask her to tune the sound more in her phone, sir. Okay, it's all on phone, I think. Okay, I think she can see the comment also. And anyway, Girish Bhaskar all the way from UK, US, Florida. I don't know what the time is now. And Madhusudan Rao Garu from Guntur district. I'm very glad that all of you are with us. And we're going to the topics of yesterday. And now there's a new drug called azilsartan, which we are already using, which is a new ARB, and there were questions about that. And I also announced one of my mentors and seniors in college in GPJ Chandigarh was Dr. P.V. Satyanarayana, who was the pioneer of keto diet. And he is visiting a hospital on 2nd of December. And I wanted people who are interested in reducing their weight or reducing their diabetes to have appointment on that day. And we also have a vascular surgeon who is coming on 10th of this day. And the best posts for that week were by Shamla Nuri, Mahendra Raju, and Anjan Datta. So all the posts are so good. And of course, Shamla Nuri said, did you know by replacing parathas and butter with a bowl of fresh green vegetables, you can lose up to 90% of whatever joy you still have in your life? That's great. I mean, I myself don't like parathas that much. I'm probably gluten sensitive, but I get the point. Because what is the point in living if you are to live with only all this garbage, etc.? I mean, food which is not tasty. I was wondering why air is so polluted, and I remembered people saying love is in the air. Now it makes sense. That's also a funny thing. And so many funny posts. Now we come to the previous day, that is Friday. We have a medical riddle, which the answer is actually the macula densa. Macula densa is actually a dense pack of special cells and keeps the vessels of the round shells. The round shells are nothing but glomeruli, and the vessels that supply the glomeruli are the afferent artery and the efferent artery. So both the vessels are actually very near this macula densa, which is actually a specialized portion of the proximal distal convoluted tubule, the tubule of the nephron. They have the capacity to sense the pressure and also measure the amount of salt, that is sodium, inside the urine or the glomerular filtrate, and hence the pressure. So this is supposed to be a riddle, and many people have got it right. I think Recapitulation Srinivasan got it right first, and later on many people also got it right. But some people mention juxtaglomerular cells, which is not correct because there's a difference between juxtaglomerular cells and macula densa. And then back to physics. Why is it that ice floats, and why there's enormous expansion of water? There are so many reasons why it is done, and I really was educated by so many people about how ice actually has wide spread out molecules inside compared to water. And that's why ice is less dense than water. And then I gave another biology buzz. Why there's a renal portal vein in kidneys in the amphibians, but not in humans? I think, and the answer was given by Devaki Agalla. And then ballast from the past. That means this post was actually, I posted this long back, or 3-4 years ago. A patient having a backpack heart and still playing basketball. Later he had a transplant. I think many people have answered this. And there's another painting. This is describe the pic, because instead of asking you to just caption it, I've rechanged it to describe this pic, because many people are poets in our group and they have described this Gangavataran. And Sandeep Kodali especially came out with the brilliant story of Bhagirath and how he saved the souls of his forefathers by bringing Ganga back to earth. I mean, I think she was never on earth. Anyway, this location is misleading for many people, because many people thought it was in Australia. But actually, I clicked this in New York when when we were just going along that road. I came across this beautiful. I didn't know what it was at that time. Then when I googled, I knew it was a historic wave tree sailor, which was used in the 18th century and 19th century to transport goods. The Daily Spotter next was about hydronephrosis. That means it was a photograph of or an image of IVP, intravenous pyelography, and shows the dilatation of both ureters. And this point was made out by Shivasubbu Kannan. And hats off to you, sir, for giving the correct diagnosis. And he had the 50 credits for that. And then the next post, of course, was how to cope with chronic kidney disease. And especially, we see day in and day out people with on dialysis, as if that is a destination treatment, because dialysis is not the treatment for kidney disease, it's only a temporary palliative treatment. But unfortunately, kidney transplants are so uncommon now that many people are under this, and there's a controversial topic about kidney rackets. Of course, these things happen whether they want it or not. And the comment how we can deal with these people who are on dialysis, because the topic for that day was something to do with kidneys. And there's a humor corner where many jokes on hemodialysis and renal transplantations. And the best jokes were given by, I think, Shamna Nori Garu. Yeah, she has given a group of jokes about kidney failure, and you have to take it in a positive way, because we're not trying to belittle people with kidney failure. It's only a type of reinforcing positivity. Then the topic for that day was actually dorbipoetin, which is a new drug which is introduced. These days, for the last 3 days, every week, there is on probably Friday, Saturday, and probably Thursday. I'm giving topics about topics about pharmacology, that is, drugs that are invented newly, and because all the time we're talking about diagnostics most of the time. So I thought we should also discuss about therapeutics, because we are in evidence-based medicine, and I include those trials, etc., and the new drugs that have come, and which are very useful for people who are practicing, because as we practice, there's so much research going on that we don't know what new drugs are there on the market, and sometimes they are available, and unfortunately, the medical representatives tell us first. Before that, we don't know. So, in order to improve our knowledge in prescriptions of patients with kidney failure or anything like that, part of that program, I am posting these topics. For example, drobipoetin was introduced in 2012, I think, and it is a replacement for erythropoietin, which was earlier used. And this is actually much better than erythropoietin, and it has got its own set of side effects, etc. And that is the. Yeah, I also included some of the beautiful members' birthdays and things. And there's some posts from Mahindra Rajugaru as usual, and Shaheen Suhail. Good, good. Causes of obesity. I missed this totally. I think I should have given some credits for them. And there's Shiva Subbu Kannan has given a, yeah, 13. His daughter has put a Shanmuga Priya. See, Shiva Subbu Garu, his daughter. Uh, Previous year question: 13-year-old child with recurrent respiratory tract infections, positive greasy stools. So, what is the diagnosis? Most likely, it is. Yeah. What is the which of the following is true about this condition? Very very nicely put. Hypernatremia, protein losing enteropathy, small intestine obstruction, decreased sweat chloride. The answer, I think, is D. Right? I don't know. I think cystic fibrosis is the condition where you'll have also pancreatitis, and patients will have fatty stools. And the best post for that day. And then Thursday, between Britain and the main mass, a band for some frequency bypass, maybe a tunnel at times a funnel, or a path of fast moving atoms and mass. That was a riddle for that day. And the answer is quite simple, just say channel, because the English channel separates Britain from the continental Europe. And of course, channels are also used for TV. We have separate TV channels for NTV, TV10, etc. So those are called channels. And sometimes it can be a tunnel, sometimes it can be funnel. The two channels are also present inside the cell membranes of cells in biology, and we have the sodium channel, calcium channel, etc. So the answer is for this riddle is just channel. And I think people have given the answer also, and they've got the credits. Next, back to basics, how we can use the atoms using laser and the spin, etc. And do plants have action potentials? It's a very relevant question, because plants do not have muscles, they do not have neurons. I'm very much interested in this. I don't know when anybody is doing research in this, but I think we have some applications
This
there
is
in medicine also. Then there was a daily spotter where I've shown an ECG showing bradycardia and tachycardia, and it's called tachybrady syndrome. This is seen in sick sinus disease, and that was a daily spotter for that day. And I've given a few photographs and tried to. I asked you to. That is a part of the brain tweezer, and many people have come out. My idea was share, lock, Holmes. And the share is the lion, and lock and Holmes. But many people have come out with alternative answers also, and they have been given credits. And a blast from the past is Beauty from India, who was a Miss India and who was a runner-up in Miss World. And there was a picture and a place. This place is Lake Tahoe near America, near California, and people have given. And then the next day, I think, the comment corner, the something about electricity, how we can reduce electricity bills, and any jokes about electricity, and then because on that day the post was about evabridine. Evabridine is a new drug that is introduced recently by FDA, and it's got a property of reducing the funny currents, because it's only in SA node, that is the battery of the heart, as you know, where the funny currents originate, and that's how the SA node picks up potential. The reason why it's called funny current is because the current is developed as when the potential is still very low in the minus 80s. So normally any cell where the intracellular potential is more than or less than minus 80 will not go undergo depolarization. But in SA node is the only thing which does that, and that's why there is the phase 4 of the action potential. And once it triggers, the action potential comes, and that's why the SA node generates this every 800 milliseconds, and that's how the heart rate is 72 per minute. So we have a number of this thing, and the clinical quiz competition was there, and a couple of posts regarding Egyptians never settle for half cases, half truths, etc. by Raja Singh. He's also a very nice person who. The medical title for the next day, that is, I think it is Wednesday, is regarding ferroportin. Regarding there are a number of materials, or there are a number of substances which control iron metabolism. That day the topic was iron metabolism. Found in the liver but fat or blood cell. My job is to prevent any iron smell. Yes, an iron pumper, but not a gym jumper. Not just iron, I move copper and nickel. So this is ferroportin. The answer is ferroportin, and is given by Mr. Dr. Jalil. A very nice answer. But Upendra Srinivas, who is a hematologist from Hyderabad, I think, he had another opinion. He said even obsidian also fills the bill, but my own opinion is that ferroportin is the correct answer. And anyway, and another blast from past, Dr. Elizabeth Nemeth, who is the professor of medicine and director of the Center for Iron Disorders. Can you believe that there is another in a Center for Iron Disorders? She is the. Then what is the difference between ferric and ferrous? People have given a lot of explanations. What if we have copper instead of iron in our body, just like animals? And then there was another pictorial puzzle. So that also a lot of people gave good answers, and everybody knew this Venetian towers in Barcelona. In fact, I didn't know that at that time when I clicked this pic, but later on. In the histopathology, as usual, our clinician from Guntur district, Champet, has given the diagnosis hemochromatosis. And I'm very glad that Mamilipalli Vijayalakshmi Garu has joined our Facebook. I mean, he's actively participating in our activities. And the poetry is really amazing. A lot of. Okay. I was going to tune the song. Because, okay, I hope I'm audible now. I'm glad that Mamilipalli Vijayalakshmi also has contributed a lot this week also with her poems and very nice comments regarding this. For example, this particular described this pic about a statue or something like a fish in Barcelona, harbor of Barcelona. There's a Telugu poem which was written by Mamilipalli, and she was given the credits for that. And then regarding money matters, I was asking how we can reduce the costs of manufacture of iron and steel. And in the comment corner, should all women in India receive iron supplements? I think because many of our Indians suffer from iron deficiency, especially women. and jokes about Iron Man and how Iron Man means ironing shirts, etc. And some jokes and some beautiful photographs of ants, insects, etc. And
दुनिया के
there are so many other posts. But the main post that I posted that day was that iron causes the heart failure after acute MI. This is a very important post, which discovery by an Indian doctor. In fact, he's a scientist, of course, from Indiana University, not Indian University, from US, and he is Mr. Rohan Dharmakumar. He has discovered that if you chelate or remove the iron from the body in acute myocardial infarction, maybe you can save some of the patients who go into heart failure after myocardial infarction. Because in myocardial infarction, what happens is a portion of the heart gets damaged or injured permanently, and it will lead to scarring and remodeling, and this will lead to reduced pumping and ejection fraction, and these patients go into heart failure. So, this particular paper discusses about how this can be prevented, and this is probably due to they have actually done some studies and found out that it is due to iron accumulation within the infarct that occurs. So by removing our chelation of chelation therapy, we can reduce the extent or the probability of people going into heart failure after acute MI. It's a very landmark, very nice paper that is given, and I put some questions. And as Nagesha Reddy is my friend, my friends asked me to put this advertisement. I mean, something like a promotion. You can insert any of your promos also. It's free for all group. I mean, anybody who wants to promote his hospital or his clinic, he can do it for free, no charges at all. And this particular Asian Institute of Gastroenterology is the best hospital for gastroenterology in India. Although some people may feel it's a big ocean and can't get proper response, these are all common with all big hospitals. And the best thing is that you have the best doctors there. And you have this Dr. Venkat Pradeep Bapu, whose birthday it was, who is a senior consultant in medical oncology in Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute. So, congratulations to people like him who are dedicated. And Bipin Sethi, I know him since he was my resident when I was registrar. He was an excellent worker. He used to be at 24 hours. He was working with the patients, and even today he keeps working like that as an endocrinologist. He's done his DM from endocrinology from Chandigarh, and now he's consultant in Hyderabad in in AAG care hospitals and various hospitals he goes. Not only that, he has adopted about 20 juvenile diabetics, and even may arrange for their studies himself. He's adopted them and made them great citizens. And here's a picture, a timeline of Dr. Vishnu Deepthi, whose birthday was on the other day, 1st November. So, and also one of my classmates in JIPMA is Krishnan Chandramohan, whose birthday also fell same day. Then this is pictures of clinical quiz. The first one, or the 10th one, we are going from front to back to front, was about the blood gas values. Sometimes I give just reports of the patient and you have to guess what the disease is. Here you have a pH of 7.25, which is below the normal range, that is 7.35 to 7.45. So this patient has acidosis. And then you also look at the base excess, and you see that is minus 11, 3 millimoles per liter, which means it is a metabolic acidosis. So people have, especially I find Girish Bhaskar has given the best explanation for this, and because lactic acid is also elevated, so this patient has both lactic acidosis as well as anion gap acidosis, that means diabetic ketoacidosis. So such pictures are very rare. I mean, this picture is been taken from a net, and this is actually emphysema of the pancreas, which is a very rare condition, which is due to gas gangrene of the pancreas. I mean, a very rare condition that occurs in some patients. and this picture is about that. And then there's another clinical finding, this is also from the net, about bronchogenic cyst. These are also very rare, but I thought some of the people can find out. And this was picked up by Dr. Rama Reddy. When this clinical quiz 7th, which was cardiac MRI, which shows atrium and ventricle and how the ventricle is. And the scimitar syndrome is a very rare condition where the X-ray shows something like a scimitar, that is a sword, this is a curved sword. This is a condition in which there is a aplasia of pulmonary lobe on the left side. That's why you see as though there is dextrocardia. But actually, it's not dextrocardia, but the heart is pulled towards the right. So, this scimitar syndrome, there are so many other things that occur. It's a collapse. It is actually anomalous venous return from the right pulmonary arteries into the left atrium. Because normally the pulmonary arteries are pulmonary veins are supposed to drain to the left atrium, but instead of draining to the left atrium, they drain into the right atrium. So there is an anomalous venous connection there, and the group of constellation of these symptoms and signs is called scimitar syndrome, and this is seen in children. And this is another congenital heart disease which we see. I've seen about 3-4 cases, and here you see the heart something like a mango shaped heart. I mean, this is my own invention, nobody has described it as mango, but this looks just like a mango. So a mango heart is suggestive of a L transposition of great arteries. So because the morphological left ventricle is situated on the right side, the morphological right ventricle is situated on the left side, that's why there is transposition, and the arteries are also transposed. So there is corrected transposition. That's why these people do not have any symptoms. But sometimes they do have heart blocks and other cardiac problems. And I asked Dr. Shivakumar to kindly judge these MRIs, but I think he needed more information. And there's another X-ray which shows pericardial effusion, and many people have answered this, and a mitral stenosis case, and a picture of a blood picture, that is hematopathology. And jokes about baby sitting or baby crushing, and some jokes, quotes about knowledge is not measured by how much is memorized, but rather by how much it is acted upon. It's a very good quote, because knowledge is everywhere. You can just get it from the tap. I mean, of a click mouse, a mouse click, etc. But how you apply the knowledge, that's most important. And the biggest joke on earth, on mankind, is that the computers have started asking humans to prove that I am not a robot. Because I typed fast one day, and there was a question, are you a robot? So things have come to that. Maybe if I tell people the brain is an app, they'll start using it. So we are so used to using apps now. The life before internet and life after the internet. Things to remember. Tomorrow is a new day. Making mistakes is part of life. Saying no is okay. Not everyone has to like you. Beauty and strength come from within. This is a great quote from Mahendra Raju. And these two people from our members, Dr. Chiru, his wedding day on that day, and we wished him all good things. And I think we're coming to close the talk. Yeah, we've seen so many people commenting, and I request all people to give your suggestions how we can improve the group. And I see watching Sunday also you should have some activity from the group. Shamlanaru, you don't want to. I'm more addicted to it. My God. Now vegans are dominating. Sir, answer to daily spot and spot location should be in single word. Try to describe we are losing first place. Okay. Okay, then we'll have 2 different contests. Maybe one for, I see. Shiva Subbu has only one son. Good evening, Dr. Ankal Garu. Karun Sagar Badam. I see. I think he is related to Badam Kannaya. Okay. Badam Kannaya somehow has lost his account on Facebook, and he went all the way to Facebook to ask about how he lost his account, and he was given with vague replies. I think Everything is automated and there's nothing we can do about it. Acha, there's a suggestion from Madhusudan Rao Garu regarding case discussion Monday. I thought it was lung disease described by Dr. Young, the elasticity of skin and hyperextensibility of joints, and hemoptysis due to vascular involvement, fitting to Alice Dollars, as posted by me and Sandeep Kolari. Okay, maybe I made a mistake, I don't know. So, thank you, sir, for the feedback. I think from next time this won't happen. For daily spot and spot application, first one word could be answered, followed by further explanation and additional comments. Please choose chronology of posting. Okay. Okay, regarding the daily spotter and spot location. First one word answer. Yeah. Regarding the spot location, of course, there are so many things that you can add about it, and the credits go to the person who actually gives the most accurate spot location. So it's already 50 minutes. My God, I have crossed my limit, and I think I again congratulate the winner, the topper of this week's contests and puzzles. Actually, our group is a peculiar group where we have only most of the posts are related to contests, medical or non-medical, and it's an indirect way of learning. And there are also entertainments like Humor Corner, etc. And we've got very good and very knowledgeable persons in our group, and it's an exchange of ideas, promotion of that way we can gain knowledge, and it's very useful to doctors and as well as people who are preparing for PG students, etc. And I hope we can do better next week. We're always hoping for a change. That's why there's always an evolution of the group. Every passing day, every passing week, we have new things coming in, and your feedback is very important, and I'll take it into consideration. And I also hope that most of you can join or ask other people to join this group so that our group will grow in strengths, from strength to strength. And I'm wishing you all a happy night, good night, and good night Lakshmanji, good night Shivashambhu, and good night Madhusudan Garu, and Lakshmanji, Shamala Nori Garu. And thank you all for attending this Facebook Live and making it a grand success. And every time we'll come out with new information, and I hope this will be very useful to everybody. Have a great week ahead, and good night. Bye for now. I'll see you next week, the same time. Okay. And for your information, all this group is being uploaded to YouTube also, and you can actually view the entire video, unedited of course, on YouTube by just pressing on you can just click on search and enter my name, Ankala Subbarao. You will get all the videos that I have done, including some non-medical ones also. So you can choose from there, and you can see this even if you are not seeing it live. Good night then. Thank you very much. Bye.